Alors petite interlude dans le jeu Vampire, juste une petite info pour vous dire que le tout nouveau DLC, premier DLC de Far Cry 5 est sorti et qu'il est disponible sur la chaîne Frédéric MA45 Gaming. Tout de suite de retour dans Vampire. On a terminé une mission et donc là à Corbeau à l'hôpital. Donc ronde de nuit finie. Corbeau à l'hôpital. Parler à Edgar, Swansea.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Ah, commence bien. Ouais, avez-vous un problème avec moi? Ouais.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Oh, oh. Tant d'animosité n'est pas nécessaire, la jalousie ne nous apportera rien de bon. Vous feriez bien de me parler sur un autre ton. Ouais, on va rester soft.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Alors, Waverly désapprouve les méthodes de la médecine moderne. Intéressant. Que pensez-vous des recherches de Strickland?
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Ça c'est quoi? C'est notre infirmière préférée. Toujours opérer du sourire. Sauf 200, n'oubliez pas que le sang des citoyens vous apporte énormément d'expérience. Cherchez les citoyens ayant un niveau de charme inférieur ou égal au vôtre. Je l'ai déjà rencontré.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Ah, c'est pas celui que je cherche.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Fenêtre brûlée. Elle, je lui ai pas encore causé.
You are going to reveal all your...
Sachant que j'ai l'impression que mon ami là, il a toujours pas le. Non, pour la fatigue, c'était pas pour lui, hein. Il lui a pas filé elle. Je vais essayer d'en fabriquer un.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
Ouais, pas encore.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Ah, pour une fois que quelqu'un est content de me voir.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Je vous conseille de changer d'attitude.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Encore quelque chose sur lui, sur Milton. Mauvaise réputation. Et en plus, on a appris dans l'épisode précédent qu'il estorquait de l'argent personne. Son ardoise commence à s'alourdir. Hein.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Faut vraiment que je lui remette la main dessus. Hein. Ne serait-ce que par curiosité.
So many deaths.
Qu'il est là. Tiens, c'est qui eux? C'est des nouveaux? On a retrouvé notre homme, on va...
The Pembroke is so lucky.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Bon, toi mon pote, ça va chier pour toi, hein, parce que...
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realised I could make a fortune.
Et c'est tout. On peut pas le réprimander plus que ça. Mauvaise réputation.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them.
Je les emmerde.
Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Milton.
Intéressant.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must
C'est une
know,
star.
blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a
Dr.
standard
Tippett.
for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
D'accord. Je crois l'avoir rencontré.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Tippett se vous encense l'erreur médicale de Tippett. Ah,
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning
D'accord, donc Gwyneth est surqualifiée pour son poste d'infirmière. Et Gwyneth a couvert l'erreur médicale de Tippett.
patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
C'est bien parce que d'une certaine manière, ils peuvent nous aider à choisir qui c'est qu'on va croquer en fonction de ses agissements. C'est plutôt sympa ça. Vous avez pris un grand risque, je comprends pourquoi vous l'avez fait. Cette décision n'était pas de votre ressort. Ouais, c'est vrai. Pas évident là. Ouais, on va dire que vous avez pris un grand risque.
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor.
J'ai un peu
I
bouffé ma
wasn't
sœur.
born yesterday.
Plus dur sera la chute mise à jour. Ouais, en fait, Tippett, pour rappel, c'est celui qui a soigné un patient qu'on a découvert à la morgue. Et en fait, sur le rapport d'autopsie, il était dit qu'il était mort d'une crise cardiaque, alors qu'en fait, en examinant le corps, et puis voir qu'il y avait eu une erreur médicale.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Intéressant.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Où est-ce qu'il est passé son collègue? Ça c'est le gros souci, ils arrêtent pas de se balader. Bon. Je tiens un coup d'œil ici. Bon, les visages commencent à m'être un petit peu familiers. On va aller voir Edgar, Swansea.
I cannot enter.
C'est là.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Être nous basette, telle est la question.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Ce n'est pas un cadeau, vos paroles sont réconfortantes, je suis l'incarnation d'un paradoxe.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Parler à la Mécène de l'hôpital. Lettre de mise en garde. Cher docteur Swansea, je dois vous informer de mes plus sérieuses réserves concernant le docteur Strickland et son traitement d'Harvey Fiddick. Monsieur Fiddick a été hospitalisé suite à une grave blessure subie au travail. Si cette blessure n'est pas traitée comme il se doit, il pourrait perdre l'usage de son bras à tout jamais. D'accord, c'est celui qui a perdu sa femme lors d'un bombardement. Le docteur Strickland prétend qu'une nouvelle procédure chirurgicale pourrait entièrement sauver le bras du patient. Je pense quant à moi qu'elle pourrait également faire empirer son état si jamais il y avait des complications. Notre jeune collègue est un chirurgien plein de courage et d'audace qui, pourrait devenir un très grand professionnel dans les années à venir, mais pour l'instant il manque d'expérience pour effectuer une procédure aussi risquée. Ai-je besoin de vous rappeler les erreurs qu'il a commises dans le passé, étant donné que le docteur Strickland refuse de m'écouter? Je vous suggère avec véhémence de lui interdire d'effectuer ce genre d'opération. Ah, c'est intéressant, ouais. Très intéressant. Les espèces rares de vampires. En tant qu'érudit et exégète des textes anciens, je n'insisterai jamais assez sur l'importance de prendre les légendes et le folklore antique en compte lorsqu'on cherche des indices sur les secrets perdus ou oubliés. L'une des erreurs les plus basiques est de prendre ce que nous savons comme vérité établie et de l'utiliser pour rejeter toute idée contraire. Par exemple, nous devons admettre la possibilité qu'il existe des espèces inconnues de vampires et la nécessité de repenser ce que nous considérons comme la vérité sur les différents types d'immortels, en nous basant sur ce que nous savons et ce que nous avons appris avec le temps. Pendant combien de siècles avons-nous pensé que vampire était le nom vernaculaire, ce que nous savions être les icônes? Nous considérions que les vulcoptes étaient des créatures liées aux loups-garous mythologiques jusqu'à ce que 4 explorateurs de la confrérie trouvent la preuve en Sibérie qu'ils étaient en fait un type de vampire aux caractéristiques lupines. Cette découverte a changé notre vision de cette espèce. Qu'en est-il des autres? Alors qu'en est-il des Rakshasa de ma terre natale ou bien des Ryukshi chinois, encore des Mécènes du Chili? Il n'y a même pas besoin d'aller chercher en dehors de, notre magnifique Royaume-Uni. Qu'en est-il des légendes de femmes chauves-souris aperçues autour de l'église Saint-James à Louf, où cette créature uniquement identifiée sous le nom de Désastre dans d'obscurs témoignages qui a essayé de détruire Londres en 1666 en propageant une épidémie de peste dans la ville, ou bien encore le Nimrod, figure mythique du diligent chasseur de vampires parfois décrit par les anciens icônes britanniques comme un prédateur légendaire se nourrissant uniquement du sang de ses proies et pouvant se cacher parmi les mortels comme les immortels. Je vous le dis, mes frères, nous pourrions faire de fantastiques découvertes si nous décidions d'oublier pendant quelques minutes ce que nous sommes censés déjà savoir, issu de La Nuit dévoilée par Usher, Taltri, Prima de confrérie de l'école de Saint-Paul. Ça c'est la catégorie espèces de vampires. On a trouvé ça dans le bureau du docteur Swansea. C'est là. Je crois que j'ai fait le tour. J'aimerais bien faire un petit tour dans mon atelier. Ne serait-ce que pour regarder ce qui va bien pour mon ami qui est pas bien. Tout ça, j'ai visité.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, c'est fermé derrière. Alors, on va juste revérifier ce dont il a besoin. Donc lui, il a un gros coup de fatigue. La question, c'est ce que j'ai ce qu'il faut. Là. Je vais en profiter pour évoluer. Je pense pas que la nuit, dormir va avoir une influence sur notre histoire. C'est pas ça. Contrairement à la croyance populaire, les vampires ne peuvent pas se dématérialiser. Ouais, c'est ce qu'on avait lu un article, en fait ils se déplacent très rapidement. Touche d'endurance, ça va être important. Ça va me plaire aussi. endurance. First. Ouais, on va être à fond dans l'endurance de toute façon. Vu ma manière de me battre, j'en ai besoin. Confirmé. Ça, je suis fou là. C'est marrant parce que notre homme, j'aurais juré de l'avoir vu dans un lit, mais je l'ai pas trouvé.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr.
Ah,
Reed.
le là.
Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
On va lui donner le médicament.
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
Ah, comment le ton change entre deux. Personnel, là, y a rien. Puis à Londres.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Charmant.
Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
On pense un petit peu plus sur lui. L'agresseur de Clay voulait venger la mort de son frère. Finir par regretter de l'avoir sauvé, lui.
You're a monster, Mr. Cox. An ungrateful and disgusting man.
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
C'est vraiment un connard. Hein.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
Ça mériterait vraiment un coup de pied au cul.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Soyez prêts à mourir bien.
If blood and violence is all you understand, I'm sure it won't be long before you meet them, Mr. Cox.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I can say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
On vient reprendre sa place de leader des Wood Boot Boys. D'accord, en plus il s'occupe d'un gang. Putain.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Ça de là.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight.
Alors lui, il a la phobie des rats.
Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
C'est marrant, ça n'a pas déclenché une mission particulière. Allez, on va aller voir la Mécène. Je peux encore discuter avec tout le monde, mais je pense qu'on s'en rapproche.
The flu took my dear wife.
C'est la fille qui m'a sauvé.
I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
C'est la vampire.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Heureux de vous revoir, j'ai l'impression d'être manipulé. Swansea est fasciné par les vampires.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Je suis ici pour vous aider. Des patients vous ont causé des ennuis. J'ai des questions à vous poser sur les vampires.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Pour l'instant, je me suis bien tenu. Hein.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
M'étonne.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Je veux savoir.
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones.
Commère
The pin
locale.
drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Bien. Parler à Harriet. On l'a rencontré.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
Hmm. Je trouve que c'est bien expéditif comme réponse négative.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Ah ouais, non, d'accord, c'est pas elle, Harriet. L'indicateur était juste à côté.
Spare your obedient slave.
D'accord. Quand j'avais pas vérifié le nom. Je vais regarder s'il y a des choses autour.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
C'est accueillante, hein.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social...
Oh, comment elle y va?
One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
Êtes-vous le maître chanteur?
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really?
Oh.
Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Trouver l'infirmière Pippa Hawkins, c'est Dorothy Crane. Fille de théâtre.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Trouver l'infirmière Pippa, c'est-à-dire que je l'ai pas encore...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Mais c'est elle, Pippa. Elle a pu dire la vérité.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
What can you tell me about the strange man?
Let me guess.
Ouais, non.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Maintenant, Dorothy. Alors, j'ai pas encore tous les visages et les noms des gens, hein, surtout vu le nombre qu'il y en a. Il n'y a pas été, mais c'est pas elle. Si on était...
Here again.
On va peut-être être à l'extérieur.
Just a dozen years or so.
Je pense pas que c'est la vieille que j'ai questionné au tout début de la... Ça me paraît très bizarre. Ça c'est mon ami.
Please, I feel sick. Get over here now.
J'ai pas regardé dans quel état il est lui maintenant. Récupération, bien. Lettre froissée, j'en ai assez de tes conneries, Clé. Qu'est-ce que t'as foutu? Tous les docs ne parlent que de ça, soi-disant que mon mari vient de massacrer un stupide gamin. Combien de fois je t'ai dit de compter jusqu'à 20 avant de sortir ton surin? Comment tu veux qu'on continue à faire des affaires et à demander le respect si tu passes ton temps à buter les gens qui t'énervent? À part et par-dessus le marché, il paraît que la famille du gamin te cherche et qu'il y en a même un qui a juré de se venger. Ne rentre pas à la maison ce soir, j'ai vu des gars bizarres patrouiller les rues, c'est peut-être une milice communiste ou un truc comme ça venu pour t'arrêter. Alors planque-toi pendant quelques jours, essaie à l'hôpital ou bien Whitechapel. Profites-en pour te rendre utile pour une fois dans ta vie et vois si tu peux y régler une affaire ou deux tant que tu y es. J'enverrai un de nos gars te chercher dès que la situation sera calmée. D'accord, il y a un marqueur qui a fini par apparaître. Espionner. Si un citoyen se comporte de manière étrange, son cœur émettra une lueur caractéristique. Si vous examinez ce citoyen, vous déverrouillerez une interaction spéciale. Essayez de trouver Dorothy. Ah bah je comprends bien pourquoi j'avais du mal à la trouver, la cocotte. Spécial, si c'est lui. Ah.
Don't worry, we're safe.
Shit.
Don't worry, we're safe.
J'espère que je peux passer là de la barrière. Coincé, hein.
Don't worry, we're safe. Relax.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Ah mais il a pu passer la grille. Trouver le malfrat dans les égouts.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
C'est un malin. Oh là, qu'est-ce qui est en train de se passer là? Oh, bizarre. C'est marrant, toutes les caisses à ouvrir, ça me fait penser à la Dark Zone dans The
This
Division.
man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Putain. Waouh. C'est violent. Hein. Peu de monde là. On va récupérer notre endurance. Ah c'est bien parce qu'avec ma jauge d'endurance, j'en ai tellement que je peux les tuer jusqu'au bout. Sans l'affrontement là. Ouais. Oh.
What sort of creature is this?
Là où je suis content encore une fois d'avoir beaucoup d'endurance, je vais pouvoir esquiver. Putain, il a de la vie cet enfoiré. C'est ma vie qui lui fait de l'arme. Je me trouve une arme un poil plus costaud. Foiré. Alors il me diminue ma jauge de vie max. Ça j'aime pas ça. arrêter ce combat parce que ça fait un peu peur quand même. Ah, on va le fouiller. Excellent pour affecter. Ça monte les jauges. Foiré. Ignorance. Enfin, bientôt. Eh bien, quel combat!
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Alors si vous êtes malade, que vous n'avez pas d'argent, qui que vous soyez, d'où vous veniez, Dorothy est là pour vous aider. Sans entourloupe, sans frais, sans question, trouvez la maison de Darius Petrescu et présentez ce bon.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to?
Chantage à
I really must
Chapel.
find her.
C'est bon. Madame. Et donc fin de l'épisode Un corbeau à l'hôpital. Prochain épisode donc chantage à Whitechapel.